104.1 KRBE.
Let's go.
Good morning. The Roula and Ryan Show.
With Eric. It's about to get all stupid up in here.
Hey, sleepyhead.
Featuring Special K.
Nobody asked you, Kevin.
And Sam.
You've waited long enough.
How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Roula.
Macaroni and cheese hot dog.
Ryan.
I am the worst DJ ever.
With Eric.
We're the champions of the world.
104.1 KRBE.
Good morning.
Lunchtime
For a Pride weekend.
Oh, it is. I can't believe we're here already.
Yes.
We're already here.
And Ahmad and I will be hosting the parade on the main stage. So if you're in the parade, you pass by us, make sure you give us a shout and
Take a shot.
and a shot. Don't throw anything at us unless it's booze. If you're at the grandstands, then you'll be right across from us. And we start at about 7 p.m. is when a parade launches. Now all the details are on krbe.com. Just type in the word Pride up in the top corner. And then also the festival will start around 11 a.m. So if you want to go to that and keep yourself out of the reflection pool, we would love you to do that.
Yes.
Even
though I know y'all are going to say
Yeah, you're going to be in that.
There's going to be a lot of entertainment throughout the entire afternoon and a lot of vendors. There's going to be cooling stations. I know you're worried about it being hot. Luckily this year, I think it's going to be in the low 90s. So it should be a great festival on Saturday.
It's going to be a busy weekend, y'all. Houston airports have geared up. They say there's going to be a lot more airline passengers this weekend.
Because of Beyonce.
Beyonce, yep, exactly. And they actually have kiosks set up in IAH and Terminal A, and they have also in the lobby at Hubby, and they're going to be open from
the Hobby Lobby?
The Hobby Lobby. And those kiosks will open up at 9 this morning.
Are they just Beyonce like standing there like this way to Houston with her
No,
pointing?
they're pop-up themed. I forget what all they're doing other than I think you get photo ops and stuff like that.
I think I saw they had the little, when you do a photo booth and you hold up like a cowboy hat or, something like that.
Yeah, but they're expecting an extra 161,000 plus
Hey,
travelers.
I'm a cowboy. I'm in Houston. Hey,
We're going to ride a horse to the concert and then trot down to Pride.
Put on a straw hat. Man.
All right, for those people that were listening to part 1 of Roses, let's get to part 2. All right, bye-bye. Roses every Thursday morning at 7 o'clock. People were actually, we got some listener line calls about that. This one woman, she just said it all really quick, really easy. Here it is.
Oh my God, that man is so effing disgusting. He is effing disgusting. I cannot believe him. I was so mad as soon as I heard him talk to her like that. He is effing disgusting. Bro, get rid of him, lady. Get rid of him.
Wow.
He's effing.
I didn't know we could say that like that many times on the radio.
Well, it didn't fill out the rest of the word. It was just an abbreviation.
Hey, did y'all see that lady who got into a wreck and then put her chair in the middle of a freeway and sat there with a gun?
5:45, yeah. Listen to this. Traffic was at a standstill after she was in a standoff with Harris County Precinct 4 deputies. She had a crash. It happened around Cypress Wood Drive in the southbound lanes of 45, and deputies responded to a report of the crash. So she's carrying a firearm. The woman crashed into another vehicle. When pulled over, she refused the officer's commands. She then pulls out a lawn chair, sits down on the roadway, and holds a gun to her head. That's scary. So they had a full-scale emergency response. Negotiators were brought in. They had to talk, kind of talk her down. And officials said a family member was called to the scene to help resolve the situation. And by 3 o'clock, they had resolved it. But still, imagine you're in that traffic.
That's insane.
And you see a woman in a lawn chair with a gun.
People said they were late to their flights. They were late to work. I mean, I'm glad she's okay, but that's crazy. People were stuck there for like 5 hours.
I know. And by the way, when we started the show, I mentioned that they're expecting a lot more traffic from the airports this weekend. They say this weekend will be one of the busiest non-holiday weekends of the entire summer.
Thanks to Beyonce.
They expect almost 162,000 people extra coming into the airports.
That's funny. I thought y'all said the tour flopped.
Wait, I didn't say nothing about it.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. Well, let's.
Wait,
run
the tour
tape.
didn't even start. The tour barely started, didn't it?
Let's run the tapes
No,
back.
I want you to run the tape back.
I
because
want to
would've
run
never
the
said
tape
that.
back because you're like, the low ticket sales. NRG's going to be packed this weekend, baby.
But Pride might be lighter.
Yeah.
Oh, you think?
Hey, let's not say that.
Now, have you heard about this? I was checking it out. They say Discovery Green. What is today's date? Today's the 27th. Yeah. So Discovery Green is having this year's Rainbow on the Green. They say you can experience an evening tonight with the Pride Chorus Houston. And they're going to be doing a concert blending the neon glory of the 80s. So, I don't know. I've never heard of this
That
before.
sounds cute.
Yeah, so they're having like a kind of like
Yeah,
an
I've
80s
not been to that
Pride
event.
Bash at Discovery Green. So, my God, y'all, we have so much going on this morning. Speaking of, at 7 o'clock, your first chance of the day to score Beyonce tickets. We're going to qualify you with a pair of boots from Texas Country Western Boots. You become a finalist. We have 4 qualifiers throughout the day, 7 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and then 4 p.m. And then Kevin and Audrey will pick a grand prize winner at 6 p.m. And somebody's going to go see Beyonce and get a hotel room at the Wyndham Houston. So we got a lot going on this morning. Let's see. Coming up next. Oh, we're going to do this segment. It's secrets that you have from your mate. In particular, we've got a call secret from a husband, a big secret that she's keeping. And weather today, it is actually not going to be bad. It's going to be sunshine. It's going to be really pretty. Should barely crack 90. Right now, 76 degrees and 6:13 on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric. .1 KRBE. It's the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric. 7 o'clock this morning, Special K. You killed me on Wednesday. That was one of the funniest pranks I'd ever heard. So what do you have in store for us today?
Richard Hunt stepping in here for a telemarketer turnaround, and because it seems sus. Okay, it seems sus, everyone.
Is that the word we're going to be counting?
One of the words that y'all texted us, which I loved, seemed sus. So we're going to try to repeat that over and over again until the telemarketer gets angry at us or hangs up or a combination of the two. And that's at about 7:03 a.m. to be exact.
All right. Okay, so there's a new study out. 1 in 4 people that are in a committed relationship who live together are hiding a major secret from their mate. I did not know this. There's 3 of us in here right now, but if there were an extra person, one of us would be hiding some major secret from their mate. Isn't that crazy?
I'm hiding the fact that I like to get Popeyes before we eat dinner.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm putting it out there. I'll
You
get
pre-dinner?
Popeyes,
Well, you
I'll
keep that
get
up.
Taco Bell.
You keep it up. He'll figure it out real soon.
Why didn't you finish, babe?
I'm not that hungry.
I'm just not that hungry. Well, what is it?
The line is 833-390-KRBE. Let's start off with Rosie. Good morning, Rosie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, so are you married or is it a live-in partner for a long time?
I'm married for 23 years. So.
Nice. Okay.
23 years.
You're about to reveal to us a secret that your 23-year-long relationship mate does not know. What is that?
That I resigned my job back in December. And so I've been leaving, I drop off my kids at school and I've been leaving every day like I'm going to work. But I'm not going to work.
What? So wait,
What are
where's
you
the
doing?
money, though? Where's the money?
So
Is it
I
your-
go and look for work. I've gone to the work source. I, go and put applications in and, drop off resumes.
Wait, you're telling me your husband of 23 years does not know that your second income doesn't exist anymore since December?
Whenever I was getting paid, I was, paying myself like I was another bill just to save money.
Yeah.
And so I was using that money to compensate for the paycheck that's not coming in. So every 15 days, I would take money and to put it into my account.
You had a slush fund.
So you're,
Yes.
you're hoping to get a job now so that he'll never know.
So I start a job tomorrow. Actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
What was,
So you're
what
never
was the
gonna tell.
kind of job that you resigned from in December, and what's the new kind of job? Is it the same?
Education. I
Education.
resigned it from.
Okay.
It was education, and I'm starting another job in education.
Okay.
In the
So-
operations department. I've worked operations,
Uh-huh.
and so I'm starting another job in operations.
Why the secret from him, though? Why couldn't you tell him?
Because it would have been I'm more of the, he's been sick since Harvey. He got he got sick. So now I became the main breadwinner.
Oh.
And so it was kind of hard to tell him and not have him be worried about it.
Oh,
But
okay.
it was more of a mental health issue. Hey, my mental health was more important to me than going to this job and, not feeling it every day. And we work with, children, and children should not be exposed to you being in a bad mood or just because you don't like where you're at, right?
That sounds like you're
So
being
the decision-
responsible.
The only person that that knows, and that's because I told them last week when I landed this job, when I got the offer letter, it's my daughter, my oldest daughter. I have a daughter in college.
How old is she?
I have a daughter in college. Yeah, she's 20.
So was she floored? Like, Mom, whoa.
Well, yeah, but she was floored because she was wondering how I'm still able to make her payments for college.
Because Mom's been tucking money away for years.
Here's the other question, Rosie, just real quick. The slush fund type account that you made in an effort to cover you if you quit your job, was that always the purpose of that account? That account was you want to get out of that job so bad you're going to start putting some of your paycheck into an anonymous account so you can fake a paycheck later?
The purpose of that account was just, you never know if emergencies happen.
Rainy day, yeah.
I have 2 kids in college. I still have a 10-year-old. Things happen. And, unfortunately, we're one of those households that, we don't have a lot to spare. So it's just making it seem like I was another bill. So that money was going like if it was another bill. So I was not touching it. Tonight is the day, since I start this new job, I won't be able to take my kids to school anymore because I'll have to be at work early, and it's like a 40-minute drive for me. So I do have to come clean tonight because I do need him to start driving the kids to school in the morning.
Well, can't you just tell him, hey, they've changed my hours?
So, yes,
Brian's like, keep the line going. Keep the line going.
Oh, my God.
You're this deep in.
Yes, I can, but the problem is this. We only have one vehicle, right?
Oh, no.
So if I ask him to take me in the mornings, he's going to find out that I'm at a different location.
Oh, okay.
So, before it starts, and so, like...
How'd you take the kids, then?
I tapped into getting my refund for my retirement so that I can buy another vehicle so that we can go ahead and just, be able to make it work.
How are you going to explain this to him, though? You're going to say, look, I didn't want to stress you out, but I changed careers.
So I'm going to present it first with the, hey, you know what, I cashed out. This is what's going to keep us till, because remember, I already depleted my funds, so thankfully I got a job. But I depleted my funds already, so thankfully I get this job, but I will not receive a first paycheck till more than likely 30 days after, right?
Oh,
because you only get paid twice a month.
Got it.
I have to cash out in order to say, you know what, this is going to keep us afloat until this comes through.
Gotcha.
So I have to come clean today, but it just feels good to be able to say it out loud rather than just keeping it, so thank you for that.
No, you're welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Don't tell him that you told your daughter.
He's going to rate your secret.
Do you think he's going to be more hurt that you told the whole city of Houston before you told him, or your daughter before him?
That part.
Hopefully he's not going to know I told the whole city of Houston because, like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to share that part.
Got it.
Okay, smart.
But yeah, I just think it's like, to me, it was more of not having him worry because he is sick and blood pressure. He does have a lot of things that he's dealing with. So it was more of that and more
protecting him.
Yeah, I think your heart's been in the right place.
Yeah. Rosie, thank you so much for sharing your story. Good luck to you. Let us know how it all turns out. That's like a to be continued. So go to the listener line when you are comfortable and tell us how he responded and how it all worked out. 713-278-VENT.
Yep, that listener line is very active, too. We check it all the time. Apparently, I really drove somebody nuts yesterday. I was talking.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Okay, play it.
Here we go.
Hey guys, listening to the podcast from June 26th, the show opener, where we're listening to the listener line and Ryan's talking about running red lights and that he lives in Jersey Village. Ryan, we know you live in Jersey Village. I think about this every time you say that, and you put an emphasis on it. It's its own incorporated little town, and I live in Jersey Village. Everybody knows what Jersey Village is. It's not like this crazy place that nobody's heard of. Just, hey, in my area where I live or over by where I live, we know you in Jersey Village. All right, bye.
I think it's because I have so many trials and tribulations with Jersey Village. For a couple of years, I wasn't living in Jersey Village. I was living in a different part of town, and I moved back, and oh my God, y'all, the latest battle I have with them. So one of my tree branches broke. It was like a big tree branch and it fell down. It was in the yard and it was in there, and they sent me, the next day they sent me this.
It wasn't that big. Honestly, you could have probably moved it.
I would have had to have cut it in a couple of pieces. I would have needed a chainsaw. But I was just trying to find the right company to come and get it. And I'm sorry, it sat in the yard for 4 days. But they write me a letter saying that I'm in violation and I have until July 3rd. If it's not, they'll, I guess, put a lien on my house or something. They were trying to threaten basically to take my house away from me because I had a freaking tree branch. I went ape, you know what? And I called them up. I'm like, are you blanking kidding me? There's a guy 5 houses down has had boards on his windows for 5 years.
You can't tell the HOA to look over there. Well, what about them? There's no what about them.
Oh, my God. Why are they picking on me? I was just like going nuts.
This reminds me of that call from that lady. She was like, they were really picking on me about the color of my house, yada, yada. Meanwhile, my neighbor was selling meth.
Yeah. Oh, they pick and choose. They pick and choose. One other listener line call that we got, I got to give both sides of the story because we aired the little segment about the shopping cart debate between Roula and Sam. Yesterday, somebody really took Sam's side and said, you know what? It's like you should go return your shopping cart whether you got kids or not. Well, in all fairness, let's give the counter proposal to this.
Okay.
I'm calling about the whole shopping carts and having multiple kids scenario. I think I'm going to back up Roula on this one. At the end of the day, the parent needs to decide what's best, what to do in the situation, because kids are unruly. Like sometimes there's, a situation that is unique to those kids, or are they just not able to. To each their own. Parents know exactly how their kids are. However, if a parent decides to not put that card back because they have multiple kids, I'm not going to fault that parent. Because at the end of the day, you have to look at the value. The risk of something happening to those children, be it somebody, jumps into the car, takes off with them, or grabs the child, that risk is far greater than the morality of just leaving the carts out in the parking lot. At this point, I compare the risk of a life versus the morality of putting the shopping cart back. I say the risk of something happening to your children far outweighs that.
No, there you go. See, give them both sides to the story. Now, I will say all the time I spent in retail growing up, like as a teenager, I loved cart duty. Like that was my favorite part of the job, going out and collecting the carts because I could
screw off.
Yeah, I could take my sweet time bringing them back.
I know you probably had a cigarette hanging out of your mouth, punching those things.
Oh, you know it. All right, coming up, speaking of those memories, we're going to go down a list of high school memories that all of us within the room have shared. It's coming up next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric and 104.1 KRBE. 104.1 KRBE. It's the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric. We were just looking at this new study about what is the most memorable thing from your high school days.
So people in this survey, American adults were asked to reflect on their high school years. What do they remember the most? On the academic side, almost 80% of them had a class they either loved or they hated. That was the top thing about the academics of high school. Mm-hmm. When it came to friendship, 83% had a friend group. 62% of the people in that group still talk to at least one friend from that group.
Well, that's pretty.
That's true.
That's pretty.
62%.
I still have friends from high school that are in my life.
I text with a buddy yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Outside the classroom, 62% had a part-time or a full-time job while they were in high school.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Had a lot of those.
87% had a crush. 64% had a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
That's all part of it. Breaking up with your boyfriend or girlfriend. Do you remember, you thought the world was ending and
you only dated like 5 weeks and you felt like it was 5 years.
And the worst part was that
because you'd have to see them in the hallway.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
Oh, Sam, I was going to say my girlfriend's locker was literally 2 lockers over from mine.
That's a big deal. To share lockers. That's like moving. Right?
Now, unfortunately, they don't have lockers, so this generation can't have these memories.
I don't know.
Lockers.
Wait, they don't have lockers now?
Well, they do,
won't use them.
but not a lot of people use them. Like my daughter graduated 5 years ago. And
you can.
6 years ago.
They have to carry their backpacks because it takes too much time with the shuffling between classes. You're late for the next class.
Just stop at your locker?
Yeah.
Well, especially when you've got these huge campuses where you got to haul ass from one point of the building to the other.
My friends used to put gum on my locker. We didn't have to bring a lock. They already had locks built in. And so they put gum all around my thing so that I'd have to touch the gum in order to get my combination.
I don't think those are your friends.
And my brother was a senior and I was a freshman. They used to put me in lockers.
They could fit you in the locker because most of the lockers are like half lockers.
She's only
mine was half.
3 or what?
Yeah, I was tiny. Like in high school, I was like 100 pounds.
Wow.
I want to see a photo of you and Kevin the same age, 14 and 14, and see who's tinier. I think Kevin.
I think Kev was probably tinier.
Yeah.
Right now, who's taller? Kevin's taller.
Kev's taller.
Okay.
Barely.
Burley. All right. When it comes to activities and clubs in high school, 51% joined a school club. 31% were in band or choir. 30% were in a school play.
I did 2 plays a year.
Did you?
I was really into it.
Were you on one of the actors or behind the scenes?
First I did acting for the first 3 years, and then I discovered Tech Crew. Man, Tech Crew is where it's at.
Yeah.
What was your favorite play that you were performing in?
I loved Bye Bye Birdie. I got to play. I was the biggest part as a freshman. I got the biggest freshman part as Randolph McAfee.
Is that song "We Love You, Conrad"?
Oh yes, we do. We love you, Conrad, and we'll be true when you're not near us. We're blue. Oh, Conrad, we love you.
Oh, look at you!
This was a play about when Elvis had to go into the military and get drafted.
Well, I gotta say that I love the whole theater department and the arts for high school is so important because it really is. It builds you in your formative years. Because when I was a kid, the elementary school got to watch the high school play, and I know even now, like my daughter's and my son having gone through this little pre-K, there's a school not too far from them that when the 8th graders do a play, they bring the pre-K kids from the little sister school to come watch them.
My cousin Adam, that we've had on many times, that does all the
set decorations,
and
designs
from Mad Men to Dexter and stuff. He's
Everybody Loves Raymond.
He got inspired by watching me because their school came to watch our plays. And
yeah,
stuff.
I'm telling you, it really
you're in third grade, you watch
plants the seed.
And as a parent, you should really encourage your kids to do this stuff. It's such a fantastic outlet for them.
And did y'all do student council where you had to put up posters to vote for you?
16% of people in the survey did student government.
Student government,
oh,
yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And what was cool about that is that you could write your own hall pass if you're late for class because you were doing student government business.
Oh, nice.
You're such a
politics,
nerd.
taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I had a whole stack of passes
Would you write
signed.
them for your friends or just for
no,
yourself?
just for me. I didn't have any friends.
Oh, Kev. I had a teacher that would always write mine for me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I always was skipping class.
That's 'cause you
so he
dated
would.
him.
I
We
didn't
had
date
this,
that.
Oh my God, Eric,
I didn't date that
stop.
one.
You did not date a high school teacher, did you? You didn't.
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't think
I don't
so?
think so.
Well, you either know or you don't,
I'm
sister.
just kidding. I'm totally
Okay. Speaking of being naughty,
passed me. It's
50% of people in the survey said they did skip class. 54%
Heck
said they would
yeah.
show up late.
Yep.
43% got sent to the principal's office. Who in here got sent to the principal's office and why?
More times than I can count.
Middle
For
school,
what?
elementary school, and high school.
That's
For
got
what?
away with
Pick
her.
one time. Why?
Okay, one time in particular, we had a film projector, and I was just being a little smartass, so I'd get up to throw away a piece of paper, and every time I got up to throw it, I'd bump the projector so it'd get a little off center from the screen, and I must have done it like 10 times to the point when I got called out for it. The picture wasn't even on like the screen anymore. It was to the left of it. The teacher's like so mad at me. That's it. Principal's office now.
Get in there,
What was
Chase.
the punishment?
I had detention for a week, and then there was
What's
another
detention?
time where
You just sit in an empty room?
Yep,
Your
after
study
school.
hall?
And then
After
there was
school.
another time where
Yeah, for 20
I
minutes or
decided I
whatever.
didn't want to shave.
Mine was 2 hours.
And like I was a weird freak of nature. I started like shaving at 13, and I just decided I didn't want to shave.
13.
I don't think I got leg hair until I was like 14.
And I remember the vice principal. He had a razor in his drawer. It's called Old Rusty, and he's like, if you don't come in clean shaven tomorrow, I'm breaking that Old Rusty.
There was a whiteboard that fell on this girl's head, and I laughed really hard.
So they sent you for not being empathetic?
But you didn't do it.
Yes. I don't know if I did it or not. I don't remember that part of the
How
story.
did you not know? Girl, you are lying.
She doesn't remember if she
How did you not know? You would know if you bashed somebody over the head with a whiteboard.
I was really bad. I
So
was really
between the
bad.
dating of the teachers and the
You don't remember.
the physical violence,
I had to go to the principal's office and we got animal crackers. I told you guys that story.
Oh, yeah, the animal crackers.
And you were each animal cracker was your friend, and I bit all their heads off, and I said, "This is what I do to my friends."
Second grade?
I don't know. My
Like
mom's
this girl.
listening. I'm sure she'll text
Your mom's
me.
like, I got.
Like, how are these not red flags for like?
For the future. Kevin, did you get sent to the principal's office ever?
I was a good boy. I
I'm
got
sure
away
you
with
were.
it. You know, I'm pretty slick.
Yeah,
So you did sub, you just didn't get busted.
Right.
Same
yeah.
with you, Eric?
yeah. I mean, after my mom passed away, they let me.
Right.
Yeah.
My GPA was a 1.0.
Well, that's totally understandable. I think,
Jeez.
it's completely understandable.
It's time for What's Going Down in H-Town on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
104.1 KRBE.
You know, if you're headed to the airports this weekend, they're going to be really packed because of Beyonce's Cowboy Carter Tour, which, by the way, we're going to have your first chance at tickets coming up in just about 8 minutes. But they're predicting an extra 161,599 travelers at both airports throughout the weekend. I mean, that's just starting today. There's going to be even more on Saturday, and there will be some on Sunday. And then Monday, it's going to be a nightmare, everybody trying to get out. So just give yourself extra time on the freeways when you're headed to the airport. A woman yesterday was armed with a gun. She brought traffic to a standstill. Kevin, you were watching this live on TV, weren't you?
I saw it unfold. It was very frightening, and I'm glad that she is okay and no one else got hurt. I'm sure she had some maybe a mental episode. What would you call that?
I would
she
say
had an
that.
episode of sorts.
Yeah, she was having a problem, that's for sure, because it was around Cypress Wood Drive on 45, the southbound lanes. The deputies reported there was a report of a crash involving a woman, and she was carrying a firearm. She crashed into another vehicle, was later pulled over, and then refused officers' commands. She reportedly pulls out a lawn chair, sits down on the roadway, and holds a gun to her head. So negotiators were brought in, and thank God nobody was harmed. And, of course, this weekend, this is the weekend, Pride Houston, Special K and Ahmad are going to be your MCs.
So we'll be there at the parade for the parade part of the whole festivity. There's, the main stage, which will be the festival starting at 11 a.m. And then Ahmad and I will take the stage at 7 p.m. over at the parade. If you're in the parade, please throw us some beads or shots. And
shots.
Then there'll be an official after party at Rich's, the original Rich's at 2401 San Jacinto. They have reopened original Rich's, kind of re-outfitted it with new lights, new sound. So that's going to be real fun. It's an entire day of festivity. Right. And so please come out and remember to go to krbe.com and type in the word Pride in the top right. And you'll find the whole page dedicated to Pride, where you can find out everywhere where you can enter it and how much it's going to be. You can actually buy discount tickets online ahead of time to get into the festival.
Now, what would be your recommendation, like if you're taking Uber or Lyft? Because there's going to be surge pricing, and we encourage everybody to do ride sharing. Don't drink and drive for the love of God.
When you take an Uber or Lyft, I would recommend getting dropped off about 2 blocks from the entrance of the festival, or maybe 1 block from where the parade is going to happen, because you got to remember a lot of streets will be blocked off, and if they're not blocked off, there's just a ton of people crossing the streets, and it is going to be very busy down there. So make sure that you do those pickups outside of that perimeter. Not only will it save you a couple bucks, but it'll also save you time and frustration.
And also, you can Uber to Montrose, drink, and then take the bus too.
They have that free bus.
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
You could probably get more information on that on the Pride website as well, or at krbe.com.
All right, coming up next, we got your first chance of the day to score Beyonce tickets in Special K. I mean, I'm telling you, Wednesday's prank call was one of my favorite of all time.
We'll see if I can top it with Theme Sus with Richard Hunt.
Richard Hunt.
We got a telemarketer turnaround coming up next, and we're going to use one of your statements that you sent us at 37530. Thank you so much, texters. And the statement is, seems sus.
All right, it's coming up next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.